I work from dawn to dusk's last light, then give my wife a good long night. hands!
Greetings. I hope your search goes well.
What do you have on offer?
Farewell.
Good luck on the path.
The north.
The guard brings peace to our domains. Flout its writ and rot in chains.
Geralt Permanentation. Welcome, Sir Geralt.
Need a bit of grooming. My time's up. So long.
Hair rejuvenation. Dandruff annihilation.
Sir, we received a shipment of wine from the Bellegarde vineyard, I believe, with kind regards from Madame Matilda and Monsieur Liam. I had the barrels unloaded and stored in the cellar to the right of the entrance.
Thanks. Take a look when I have a moment.
Splendid. I was told to expect a subsequent delivery 5 days hence.
Thanks. Gotta get back to my business now. See you soon.
You freed us from the beast. Perhaps you could free me from my lumbago. Was it tough, eh? Bashing that beast?
Oh? How do you like to do it?
I agree completely, young man. Lois is clearly more decent than Lone.
Isn't that the truth? I noticed it myself. But Clay? Now that's a real pickle to clean off. Oh, it's the chap with the swords. Sir, you look like some beast ate you up then spat you out. Are you here for a spiffing? Boots make the man, they say. Step on up.
Need to ask you something.
Yet again? Go on then. I'm a proponent of free speech and I will gladly tell you all I know. But why not get your boots shanked while we jabber?
Guess they could use a spit and polish.
Then I shall take advantage as well. A friend of mine used to say boots should be as clean as the soles that wear them.
Clean boots, clean soles. A fine slogan.
How's business?
Well enough. I can't complain. Though it'd be even better were certain folk to sit down for a shine as they stood and chatted.
Man in the frock coat. You passed him some letters, remember?
Why, of course. I'm young, got a mind like a steel trap, but...
If you're about to tell me this information will cost me, forget it. How'd you get those letters?
Beggars brought them.
Why didn't you tell us this before, when we first talked?
You didn't ask about beggars now, did you?
Beggars. Tell us more about them. How many were there?
Why, 4. 1 for each letter.
Just 4? Sure you didn't get a 5th?
I can't count, you know.
Remember anything else? These beggars have anything in common?
What? Come now. Each was different. Some had mismatched boots, others had no boots at all. Oh, I know! They all had no home!
Kid, my patience is starting to run a little thin. Now think hard. Where'd they get the letters? They pick them up? Get them from someone?
I don't know. They'd come, hand me a letter, and walk away. I asked no questions.
Geralt, allow me to ask a question. Listen, lad. I'll be glad to mix another batch of that bootshine for you. But you must focus now and tell us all you know. Where can we find the beggars?
Well, at the shelter, most like.
Where's that?
Everyone knows. It's just round the corner. Up those stairs, then right.
Thanks, kid. For your trouble. We must visit the shelter. Look around inside.
Old Gotish found his way to the Bordello, no doubt.
It should be right around here.
You've to move your little camp elsewhere, got it? This is a decent district. We need no filth folk bunning about.
Gentlemen, there's no need...
You? What do you want?
To talk.
Here, that's a waste of breath. We've tried it, only to tire our lips. We'll use other means of persuasion now.
Gentlemen, calm, please.
Either get out along with these flea-ridden vagabonds, or we'll toss you all out. Our patience is gone. This place is no longer a rank refuse dump.
Scram! Decent folk live here.
The shelter, them living here, bothers you. Question is why?
Look, Ballard. Another defender of the poor. Fighter for justice.
Damn nuisance. We've our women and young folk living next door, when even grown men fear to walk past such rabble.
Decent folk you mention. Mean yourselves.
Why? Do you doubt it?
Hell yes.
Hear that, Artois? He poking insults us. On our own turf.
We should step aside, good fellow. My friend is perfectly capable of settling this unfortunate dispute on his own.
Witcher.
Come on, come closer.
Not a Witcher. You are one damp squib.
I'll break your guts around your spine. All right. I can take a hint. Come, time to go.
I thank you so much for your aid. I tried to reason with them, but they'd have beat me blue had you not come along. I'm grateful. Immensely.
What did they want from you?
They are neighbors. Wish me to take my folk, the shelter, elsewhere. They dislike that I help the beggars. I do not oppose going elsewhere, were we to have somewhere to go. But you've come with a problem, have you? My turn to aid you.
What is this place? Poorhouse?
You could call it that. They come here to rest and eat a hot meal.
You help them, why?
Because they need help.
Need some information. Looking for a man who might have mentioned the Bootblack in Rue de Garl.
The Bootblack? A feisty lad. I know him.
Any of your, wards supposed to meet him recently or soon?
Forgive me. Those I help and I are not so close that I would know. But should you wait, they'll all soon come for their meal. You can question them yourselves.
Sure all your usual beggars will be here?
They're not obliged to come, of course. But they rarely find a decent meal elsewhere. So, almost all in the area eat here.
Thanks. We'll wait. Nice of you to let us.
My dears, I've a matter to address before I serve the soup. These two gentlemen have some questions of you. Pay attention. Answer in brief. For if you draw it out, your soup will go cold. And we wouldn't want that, would we?
Recently, 4 of you delivered sealed letters to the Bootblack. I know this.
Does anyone know what the gentleman means? Go on, speak up. Romain?
Why should I squeal? We were all told not to mention the letters. We all swore.
You can tell me, Romain. You were given a letter and you delivered it, right? Good work, Romain. Thank you. Who else?
I got one too. Gave it to the Bootblack. And Freshy, he got one. But he can't tell you, as he's not here.
I still have mine. I'm to deliver it 2 days after the Feast of St. Barnabas.
It's a matter of importance to the Duchy. Hand it over, or I'll take it from you, plain and simple.
But I was to deliver it personally. Let no one else see it. That is what she said, and she was frightening.
You ought to heed folk who are kind and honest. These men helped me a short while ago, helped all of us. If this individual threatened you, you need not keep the promise you made.
All right. Take it. I didn't want to see the Bootblack anyways. It's always muddy there.
it.
What is it? Another name, truly?
See for yourself.
Well, well. I must say, even I did not expect this. This time you will see to our Duquesa. It seems we underestimated Syanna rather grossly.
Judging by this, Detloff was literally supposed to tear her heart out.
Yet first you must snap her neck. Puzzling.
Puzzle complete now?
Alas, the matter's ceased to be a tantalizing brain tease and has turned incredibly grave. We've proof of a plot to assassinate Toussaint's ruler. We've proof of a coup d'etat.
Duchess was to be Detloff's last victim. Syanna planned it from the start.
Indeed. The logical conclusion, Geralt.
4 seemingly random victims to start. The virtue's their only link. Enough to get folk talking about a righteous, vengeful beast. Obscured the victims' links to Syanna, even as she had those she despised killed off one by one, leaving the Duchess for last.
Had she managed to fulfill her plan, none would have questioned the reasons. Most would have thought Anna Henrietta had died for her sins. She was known to show a hard heart on many occasions. Ample proof of a lack of compassion.
Why would Syanna murder her own sister? Out of envy? To take power? From an inborn penchant for evil?
Yes, yes, and yes. All those make sense, and none are mutually exclusive.
Can only guess what drove Syanna. Luckily, Anna Henrietta's safe now.
I believe we may dare to assume so. Syanna's death was also the death of the Duquessa's only natural rival. She is in no danger, for now.
Pretty rare thing for a ruler. What do we do now?
Now we drink. Unless, that is, you feel a witcherly duty to see the Duchess and tell her what we just learned.
Think this might be something Anna Henrietta should know.
As you wish. I shall await you at Mare la Chaiselongue. A mug of mandrake brew to keep me company.
Not coming with?
No. After the horror Detlaff brought down upon the city, and in light of Syanna's death, I think it wiser not to appear at the palace.
Probably right. See you later, then.
Before heading to the palace, you might wish to see if Anna Henrietta is not at the city cemetery. She spent a great deal of time at her sister's grave these last days.
Where does a snake keep its paws?
Let's go! Giddy up.
Oh, that's bad luck.
Geralt, why have you come? Forgotten already? The murderer you were to kill lives, while the Duchessa's sister lies dead.
Wouldn't have come if I didn't have to. Promise you that. But I've learned something. Something that might interest Anna Henrietta.
Forgive me if I lend no credence to your word.
Found a letter Syanna wrote. To the murderer.
Very well. You may enter. But I make no promises as regards the Duchessa. She mourns her sister in the ducal crypt. Viscount de Lettenhove is with her.
Remember, my dear Henrietta, despair is like a stormy sky. Sooner or later, the sun must drive away the clouds.
That is easy for you to say. The one murdered was not your sister.
My life hasn't exactly been a bed of roses. True, my sister wasn't murdered. Don't even have a sister, actually, but many times I've lost. Ugh, unimportant.
Your Grace.
The impudence you must harbor to come in here after all that's happened.
Calm down. I'm sure Geralt's got a very good reason. Right, Geralt?
Before you start dumping accusations on me, I think you should know something. Syanna, she was a vicious, wicked woman.
Who are you to tell me who my own sister was?
I'm the man you hired to investigate the Beast of Beauclair. And I found a letter your sister wrote to the murderer.
Really? Maybe you should read it then. It could be important.
You read it, Tantalai, aloud to me.
This time you must see to our Duchessa. Anna Henrietta knows nothing of empathy. Her heart is cold. This shard of ice you must tear from her breast.
My sister could never have written that.
Got proof she did.
No. I don't believe you. I don't believe it. Someone seeks to blacken her in my eyes. I won't allow it.
There, Henrietta. Don't get upset.
The letter is vile. It's slander. You must destroy it. Do you hear? No one else must ever read it. Ever!
Consider it done.
And you, out! Get out of here! This is all you're doing! Begone, hear me! I never wish to see you again! I shall never believe she did this. She was not capable. This is an outrage, Dandelion. Tell him it's not true. Tell him it's a dirty lie.
Geralt, get out of here, please. The Duchess, she needs to be alone.
As to her enlightened highness, didn't go great. Got the full kaleidoscope of her emotional states. Spun through it at an impressive pace, too.
Am I to understand she didn't throw her arms about you and shower you with thanks for saving her from her murderous sister?
Got that right. I don't blame her, though. Luckily, Dandelion was there to smooth things over. Somewhat.
As you know, I had little sympathy for Syanna. Nonetheless, I very much regret I could not keep her safe. To you, her ultimate fate, does it still bring on the occasional pang of regret?
Yep. Still.
Well then, Drink up.
Always seemed a very complex creature to me, by your very nature. Not one to go in for simple methods like drinking your worries away.
I fear there are worries for which, quite simply, there is no other medicine.
Beauclair seems safe now, though I'm still left wondering. I mean, Detloff's alive. Think Anna Henrietta's still in danger?
No. He had a score to settle with Siana. By his reckoning, he did just that. He has no reason to attack anyone else, or to remain in Beauclair any longer.
Sure hope so. Though in his boots, I'd regret having to go. Place is just plain beautiful, damn it.
Supreme bouquet. Firm, defined beginning, then develops gently, rising to a startling finish. Don't you think?
Not much of a connoisseur.
Then it is high time you started your education. After all, the Corvo Bianco vineyard is now yours. By the way, I left a gift for you at your new home, on the nightstand.
Thanks. Mind telling me what it is?
A trifle. That will nonetheless be useful should you need mutagens. Incidentally, have you thought about what you'll do with your prize? Shall you hang your swords over the mantle and take to pruning vines?
Don't really know yet. Might find the life of a hard-working vintner too tempting one day. Or maybe I'll just stick to the path, go on roaming, staring up at the stars after laying my bedroll at the roadside.
Ah, roadsides, bedrolls, and the sky above. I sense some poetry coming on, which, of course, brings to mind Dandelion. I can remember a night, not too far from here, if I'm not mistaken. We hid in a cave while a blizzard raged all about. Does that sound at all familiar?
How could it not? We'd just set off to rescue Ciri from Vilgefortz.
Oh, our encounter with Vilgefortz. That is something I do not remember so fondly. But that first stay in Beauclair, far calmer than this one.
Seemed like a land straight out of a fairy tale back then. Its sole problem, cellars too small to accommodate all that wine.
Appearances, Geralt. Appearances, like Mamoons and Dopplers, deceive. So what did become of Vilgefortz?
Killed him. Sure wasn't easy, though. What about you now? Got a plan?
I do. I must find Detlaff. Help him. I certainly owe him that much.
Vampire friendships. Clear rules. Must be nice.
Do I detect a note of sarcasm?
Not at all. I so don't feel like going anywhere. Sit here a while longer?
So we shall, my friend. We have witnessed, and in fact on several occasions incited, many great and weighty events. After all that toil, I believe we deserve a bit of a rest.
That we do. Actually, I'd love to go home.
wish and a wreck. And that was all she wrote for them.
Master Witcher, some unknown individual barged into the residence. I resisted as best I could, but to no avail.
Who is it?
Alas, they did not do me the basic courtesy of introducing themselves.
You look good. Come. Don't just stand there. I want a hug.
Thought I'd never see you again.
Well, I've departed, escaped, been forced to flee so many times. Yet, I always returned. You ought to be used to it by now. I like coming back into your life.
I'm just glad you're here.
The house is lovely. It just needs some work.
Yeah, plan to do a lot. Want to go outside, maybe? Could show you the grounds.
Ah, it's lovely here. I could stay forever.
Anything stopping you?
Obligations, duties. I'm only here because Emir concluded I must get to know what I'll rule once I take the throne. So I'm on a tour of the provinces with a small swarm of advisors. Which essentially means they take turns lecturing me while I follow them about, scribbling notes.
Plan to stay in Beauclair a while?
A bit. I convinced my advisors we'd be unwise to depart before I tasted each of this year's wines. My knowledge would be incomplete, you see. Though, actually, just between you and me, I'm not certain I'm cut out to rule, govern, all that.
Thinking you might give it up?
I can't say just yet, but I'm not willing to rule it out.
How fares your venerable father?
He seems younger, quite rejuvenated. Abandoning high-level politics seems to have done it. It's as if the very awareness of peace grants him strength, which most likely is the case.
Think he'll keep his word?
I think that depends on me. If he feels I'm up to the task, he'll head out to pasture. Yes.
And if he doesn't?
Then there'll be nothing to stop him from returning. He hasn't ever had a problem changing his mind.
Preparations for the coronation coming along?
Not at all. I told him I'm in no hurry. I must see what the whole thing's about first. Acquaint myself with the Empire's institutions, laws, and so forth.
No pressure from Emir to speed things along?
He tried. But I told him I wished to be a good ruler, a strong ruler, not some puppet.
No one else in the world he'd give in to like that.
I had nothing to do with that. There's just no one else in the world who's his daughter. Speaking of which, as the future Empress, I could secure you a comfortable position as court witcher.
Thanks, but just not my thing, that. My place is on the path.
I know. Still, had to try.
See you later, Ciri.
Take care of yourself.
Geralt?
Geralt?
I work from dawn to dusk's last light. Then give my wife a good long night.